What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM. It is a lazy Monday morning here at Site B. All of us having a little trouble waking up after a long, weird weekend. But we're back. We're live. We've got coffee and we've got news. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the 19th day of December 2022. It's 41 degrees and sunny. What's going on? How are you? Hopefully you all survived the weekend and are ready for the holiday plunge as Christmas is right around the corner. Anyways, we've got the cover for the new Dragonlance novel right here. You can see it thanks to the miracle of SteamYard, which I absolutely hate. There is the new novel coming out from our friends, Margaret and Tracy. This is officially licensed Margaret Tracy Dragonlance that has nothing to do with Wizards of the Coast. Yay. But as we do know, in response to this, Wizards of the Coast is re-releasing the Tyranny of Dragons module next month, even though they didn't announce it in the list of things they were making for 2022, 3, whatever year it is. This is going to be a reprint of the Tyranny of Dragons, Rise of Tiamat stuff with some new stuff and some art. And so basically you're rebuying something you've probably already bought at least once, if not twice, and you can get free online for art. Speaking of art, take a look. We've got the Dungeons & Dragons 1980s cartoon mini-series coming out on comic book from IDWs. So about a week ago, we heard that there's going to be a Dungeons & Dragons 1980s cartoon miniseries, and people are like, oh no, don't do a 1980s miniseries, it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be on TV, and you're gonna make TV suck, and stop milking the nostalgia, and blah 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 blah. Complain, something OSR, something Wizards of the Coast. What people neglected to do is read past the title of that they were announcing a Dungeons & Dragons Saturday morning cartoon miniseries to see that it was a comic book. So apparently this will feature some of the lost episodes, as well as possibly the unofficial finale that was made. This should be come around late March 2023. And can we just talk about Hank's arm here? Hank, what's wrong with your arm, buddy? Because it's just interesting perspective. Roll20 has announced new community contact program rolling out for Dungeon Masters Guild and Pathfinder Starfinder. So, community contact program allows fans to create and sell their own content using the official content published by various IPs through the program. So if you make stuff for DM's Guild or any Starfinder or Pathfinder, you can now have it be converted to VTT and put up on Roll20. I have used Roll20. I kind of like it. There's a bunch of different VTTs I've played around with. My favorite is still Owlbear Rodeo just because it's simple. Each one has its advantages. Each one has its disadvantages. So it's hard to say which one is the best VTT, of the 2 or 3 I've seen. But Roll20 is now going to be allowing Pathfinder, Starfinder, and Dungeon Masters Guild content. I have a feeling we're going to see more and more of this from all the various VTTs in response to the Dungeons & Dragons Wizards of the Coast VTT that may or may not be coming out. I'm drinking coffee. And speaking of Pathfinder and Starfinder, Peso has restructured the land of Pathfinder. There's now 3 teams, the narrative team, the rule team, and the Starfinder team. So I guess the narrative team and the rule team will cover Pathfinder 2E and Starfinder, but then the Starfinder team will just be specifically for Starfinder Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh, the light's not on. There we go. There's a bunch of names mentioned here. Doesn't blah, blah. This will also cover the official Pathfinder and Starfinder Society lore and the stuff that they're doing. The three teams are narrative team, rules / lore team, and Starfinder team. I don't know. I have to see more about that one to see what they actually mean. From the gaming industry, whose name I said I would never mention again if we reached 1,000 subs, Darrington Press has got a new game coming out called To the Last Gasp. But it's a 2-player one-on-one duel game where you choose the combatants. Like you could have 2 sword fighters or 2 kung fu masters or 2 gunslingers or 2 guys with laser swords fighting it out. And then it will use a 20d6 system with some pre-made characters and then some cards and some tokens and some trackers. So it's got d6 map cards, a deck of cards, objective and stance cards, tokens, and trackers. 20d6. That's a lot of stuff for what boils down to just basically a 2-person game of Snap. But this additionally allows you to explore the drama and heart of the story behind the fight and how that drama will affect the duel. And it's $40. So for $40 when this comes out, you will get a 40-page rulebook, 20d6, 2 player boards, 9 jumbo map cards, 12 pre-made characters, 2 blank character sheets, a drama deck, objective and stance cards, tokens, and trackers. That's a really, I don't know. Modiphius has released a new standalone adventure for their 2D20 Star Trek Adventures theme called Incident at Krava 3, Kraav 3. This deals someplace between the TOS and TNG era, with players taking the roles of Klingons. Oh, the brain is not working yet this morning, guys. I'm sorry. Klingons, cool. And now, in what I consider the #1 story of the week, I don't know what else is the fate of what's going on with Henry Cavill. Oh my God, have you been paying attention to the soap opera surrounding Mr. Cavill, the man who was, then was not, then was not Superman? So, spoiler alert, at the end of Black Adam, in the after scenes, Henry shows up. And then there was a big announcement that Henry was going to be playing Superman again. There was a Superman 2 movie coming out with him. They were talking about doing more Justice League with him and Ben and Jason and Gale. And then a week later, they're like, nope, we're not doing this. You're fired again, Henry. So now Henry has been fired once again from Warhammer Land. And as regards to The Witcher, what's going on with The Witcher? Well, he left The Witcher. Depending upon who you listen to, it was either because he didn't like what they were doing with the franchise and the behavior on the set, or other people didn't like what he was doing with the franchise and his behavior on the set. There's also been some speculation that our boy Henry's might be up in line to be the next James Bond. But all that aside, as you may know, Henry Cavill is a huge Warhammer geek. Yes, Superman is one of us. He plays Warhammer 2020. He plays Warhammer Fantasy. He is a huge fan of the Warhammer universe. I don't know if he plays D&D or not. I can't imagine he hasn't. If you see almost any article with Henry, he will try and bring it up. And he has gotten other people to play Warhammer with him, including Spider-Man Tom Holland. Well, never to be one to last on his laurels, Henry announced that he is going to be doing a Warhammer 40K television show. It looks like it's going to be on Amazon, maybe. And yeah, so there we go. Good news for the Warhammer fans. The Warhammer movie has a huge, big name Superman attached to it. I'm sorry if I'm a fantasy movie, if I'm my choice to have the guy who played Captain Kirk attached to it or the guy who played Superman, I'm fucking going with Superman. So congratulations, Henry, for being able to push your passion into possibly getting a TV show made that you will be the executive producer of. Kickstarter has announced this week that the platform has now passed the 7 billion mark in crowdfunding since the site launched, and 20% of that came from tabletop games. Now people are going to be going, "Oh, that was all D&D, right? They made a $7 billion and it's all D&D, and the OSR elitists are going to whine because it was D&D and not OSR." No, sorry. If you look at the numbers, the OSR games are the ones that are making the millions of dollars on Kickstarter, but the big money came from tabletop games like Gloomhaven and Frostgrave and those things. So yeah, congratulations. $7 billion Kickstarter to get small publishers out there. And finally, we have some more news on the lawsuit between Wizards of the Coast and Justin TSR 3.5 Lanasa. In regards to that, when I previously talked about this, I mentioned that there was a Kickstarter for Star Frontiers. Well, apparently there wasn't a Kickstarter. So that was a mistake on my part. So basically, as it stands now, the lawsuit has been thrown out. There will be a new lawsuit and countersuit in 2023 regarding all the stuff between Lanasa and Wizards of the Coast. But in regarding to the name Star Frontier New Genesis, Lanasa has disavowed it and claimed that he will not be making it. And thus, because he said all this, the judge said, okay, we're dropping the injunction, which I guess technically is a win for Lanasa since he still technically owns the words Star Frontiers New Genesis. But as of now, he will not be making a Star Frontiers New Genesis role-playing game. Does this mean he can make one in the future? Maybe. Does this mean he can make another game and just use some version of the name but still use the same rules? Sure, he could call it Space Frontiers New Beginning, and that would be just fine. He could still use the rules and the art and whatever else he's managed to cobble together to make the never-seen Star Frontiers. There's still other legal matters that are hanging over Lanasa's head. Defamation, harassment, all these other, the letting the information out on the internet, stuff like that. So Wizards of the Coast lost this, but since all they really wanted was for him not to use those words, Star Frontier New Genesis, because they didn't want to be associated with that Lanasa and the apparent politics of TSR 3.5. And since they kind of got what they wanted, as of now, we will not see a Star Frontiers New Genesis go into publication. Does this mean Wizards of the Coast can now make Star Frontiers New Genesis? No, because Lanasa still technically is holding on to those 4 words. Now, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro could make another space game and use a variation of those words and use the art that they own the rights to and use the rules they own the rights to, so they could go into production and make Space Frontiers New Beginning, and that'd be fine. Justin could could just change the name and call it Star Adventures New monkeys. I don't know. I mean, it's really the name and the association with the name and things that were whatever, stuff that was involved in conflict and controversy on both sides. But it basically breaks down to 4 words: Star Frontiers, New Genesis, and the material attached to it, and what Justin can and cannot do with it, and what Wizards of the Coast can and cannot do with it. So I guess technically, congratulations, Justin. At least you have managed to delay the lawsuit and the countersuit, and you currently still hold those 4 words: Star, Frontiers, New Genesis. But also congratulations to Wizards of the Coast, because they've been able to delay the eventual publication of Star, Frontiers, New Genesis until whatever happens after October. So it's legal stuff, and I don't really understand any of it, and I'm probably saying everything wrong. So if you're insulted, Justin, even though you think I'm an idiot, I guess I'm sorry. I apologize. If you're insulted Wizards of the Coast, well, I guess I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, that seems to be it for Tabletop and Role-Playing Game news for the week. The stories I'm sure we will be following is the 1D&D / OSR nonsense and whatever is going on next. The date for the reveal for the final of the Lego D&D contest has been delayed till after the holidays. It is now scheduled for January 9th. What happened? Why did they delay it? They already had all the votes in. They were just tallying them up. We don't know, but apparently it has gone from being told what the winner is the day after tomorrow till January. And speaking of voting, the 1D&D playtest final day is coming up. You've only got like 3 days left to download the latest round of playtest material, which has definitely gotten Wizards of the Coast the most attention in regarding to what's going on with 1D&D. So if you haven't picked up the cleric / rules and the new stuff on various other things, and of course the race / species thing, you can go to D&D Beyond and get it today. Take a look at it. The survey will go live, it looks like, on Friday. They'll say the survey will end on January 1st or January 2nd, and then sometime around the 28th, they'll extend the survey, just like they've done the past 2 times. And then out of the 5 million supposedly D&D fans out there, like 40,000 will respond to it. And then we will have another round of people being angry at it, and people being angry at Wizards of the Coast, and people being angry at the OSR. Anyways, that's the news. Tune in next time when we will talk about the RPG bundles and sales news of the week and address the latest round of controversy in regards to AI art and representation, if that's something you have any interest in. I don't, but it's something to talk about. Anyways, I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate the nonsense that's coming out of my mouth, let me know. If you'd like to see me change the direction the site's going, let me know. And also you can fill out the various surveys I put on my YouTube site for things we might do in 2024. I obviously need more caffeine because my brain hasn't started yet. I'm drinking coffee. But not just any coffee. Oh no, this is sponsored coffee. Oh yes. Want to thank my current sponsors, Kuso Coffee, with their cold brew instant coffee stuff. As you guys know, I'm a soda drinker. If you've been watching my channel for longer than 5 seconds, you know I down about 3 or 4 sodas a day. I love that stuff. So to get me to switch from soda to coffee, you know you've got to be good. So if I can say that this stuff is amazing, then it's got to be amazing because it got me to stop drinking soda. at least temporarily. So shout out to Kuso Coffee. If you want to pick up your own flight, you can check out my affiliate link down below. Use the code FLIGHT35 to get 35% off your first shipment. You can also get a free sample flight. You only have to pay for shipping. So this is American-made, cold brew, non-GMO, cruelty-free, tofu, no soy, whatever the other things you're supposed to say to tell people, that is politically correct. But all that nonsense aside, I don't know what any of that means. It's all science stuff. I don't do science. I do history and anthropology and things I can look up on Wikipedia. But yeah, coffee. It's little teeny instant coffee mac. It's little instant coffee packs. You just pour them and you pour the water on them. And you would think, oh, instant coffee, that stuff's blah. But no, this stuff is great. I've been drinking it nonstop since they sent me the flight. Today's flavor is dirty chai, which is one of my favorite coffee flavors anyways. And yeah, so Kuso Coffee, check it out. There's an affiliate link. And if you use the code FLIGHT35, you get a discount. Hey, OGGM, do you ever use D&D Beyond? Yes, I do. I don't like it, but I use it. That's the topic for another episode. That's it for today. Till next time, I'm the OGGM, blah, blah, blah. Like, share, subscribe. I need more caffeine. See ya.